JTV here live from Zimmer Biomet Porkisog. Well, I hope you enjoyed the second of the TUS senior semi-finals, where Clooney Quinn have just earned the right to go toe-to-toe with Éireoga Venice for the Canon Hamilton in a fortnight's time. Now remember, it was also an enthralling weekend of hurling in the intermediate and Premier Intermediate and junior grades right across the county. So we now turn our attention to the TUS Premier Intermediate, the Intermediate and the Martin Murphy Building and Civil Contractors Junior Championship draws. A huge and historic day, remember, for every club involved is now only fingertips away, and we're about to find out who stands in the way of who on that journey. We're delighted to conduct the draw, to be joined by County Board Chairman Kieran Keating, who will, as I say, conduct us through the draws. Just to explain, in case there was any confusion across the county, these are fully open draws. So whether you topped your group in either junior, Premier Intermediate or Intermediate, you can play another team that topped their group. And whether you've already played a team in the group stages, again, you can potentially be drawn to play them at the semi-final stages. So basically, it's a case of anything goes. So we're going to work our way up from the Junior A draw to Intermediate and then to Premier Intermediate. So we have the Junior A draw pot here in front of us. So Kieran, when you're ready, just explain to the viewership at home. In here we have the Banner and Clare Castle, who both topped their groups, Group 1 and Group 2, and they're in an open draw with Clooney Quinn and Ballyea, who both over the weekend won their right to take a place in the Junior A Martin Murphy Building draw.
Thanks, Aaron. Okay, we'll go ahead.
First team out, so Team 1 will play Team 2 and Team 3, as always, will play Team 4, and it's Clooney Quinn. So that'll be interesting for those hanger-ons here in Zimmer Biomet Porkisog, who stayed here after the senior match. Their second team still hurling into October, and they will play the Banner. Okay, interesting draw. Clooney Quinn take on the Banner in the first of the Junior A semi-finals, which leaves in the second semi-final the Magpies of Clare Castle. Their second team, of course, their intermediates are in the Premier Intermediate draw later on, and Clare Castle should and will, Derby game, will play Ballyea. Okay, so that completes the Junior A Championship draw. Clooney Quinn will take on the Banner, and then we have that Derby game between Clare Castle and Ballyea. We're going to move swiftly along to the Intermediate draw, the TUS Intermediate draw. Here, Kilnamona and Smith O'Brien's atop their group. They were already in the pots, and just today, winning their way through to join them were O'Gunlow, who had a very narrow 1-point win over Éireoga, and Kilmaley had slightly more to spare over O'Callaghan's Mills. So they're the four teams inside in the pot, and again, Team 1 will play Team 2, Team 3 will take on Team 4. Take it away, Kieran. First team out. Smith O'Brien's. Hoping to get back up through the ranks. Smith O'Brien's made the league finals and have gone well so far to top their group in this championship, but standing in their way will be Kilmaley between here and a TUS Intermediate final. So that is semi-final 1, Smith O'Brien's and Kilmaley, and that of course should leave Kilnamona, group toppers from their group, and this morning fresh with a narrow 1-point win, it should be the men from East Clare, Thua O'Gunlow. Excellent. Interesting tie so far, and that leaves us with one remaining championship. We'll just bring in COO of the Clare County Board to put the balls into the pot, and I'll just call out again for our audience at home, if they don't know already, and if they don't, where have they been? This is the Premier Intermediate Championship, semi-final stages. O'Callaghan's Mills and Whitegate both topped their group, and they were joined over the weekend by Rouen with a 1-point last gasp win on Friday night against Tulla, and Clare Castle's very impressive showing yesterday in Rouen against last year's finalists Tubber. So it's the Mills, Whitegate, Clare Castle and Rouen all in the pot. Take it away, Kieran. First team out will play the second team, and the first team is Rouen. Okay, Rouen with that late Shane Punch goal on Friday night, just catching up at the post with Tulla to defeat them, and Rouen in the semi-final will play O'Callaghan's Mills. Okay, interesting pairing indeed. O'Callaghan's Mills hoping to go straight back up to senior ranks, and that leaves our second semi-final. Clare Castle, the Magpies. Score of 4 goals in Rowan yesterday. Very impressive showing by Gerald Loughlin's side. And they're going to take on Whitegate. Okay, so that is the second TUS Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship Final. Thanks indeed, Kieran. Okay, and so that concludes this evening's Premier Intermediate, Intermediate and Junior A Hurling draws. Keep an eye on social media for confirmation of those draws and all Clare GAA platforms. And thanks a million for joining us on Clare GAA TV. So, as the stakes continue to get higher and higher, best of luck to all clubs as the countdown begins toward the finales in each grade for the 2025 season. Good day, Slán.